Most artists paint what they see: landscapes, portraits, moments that can be recognized and understood. Hieronymus Bosch painted something else entirely. Not the visible world, but the imagined one beneath it. In the late 15th century, European art was largely concerned with clarity. Religious scenes were structured, symbolic, but ordered, familiar. Bosch disrupted that order. His paintings were filled with strange figures, hybrid creatures, distorted bodies, scenes that felt both detailed and impossible. They were not easy to interpret, and perhaps not meant to be. Where others illustrated belief, Bosch explored fear. Hieronymus Bosch was born Hieronymus van Eycken around 1450 in S. Hertogenbosch. The name Bosch was not inherited, it was chosen, a reference to his hometown, a way of anchoring identity to place. In a period when names often reflected lineage or trade, this choice suggested something more deliberate, a connection not just to family, but to environment. He came from a lineage of painters. His grandfather, father, and uncles all worked in the craft. Art was not a discovery for him. It was an inheritance, a structure already in place. But inheritance does not determine direction. And what Bosch would eventually create would move far beyond the expectations of that tradition. Bosch trained within the established practices of late medieval painting. Workshops were structured environments. Skills were learned through repetition. Technique before innovation. Religious subjects dominated. Altarpieces, biblical scenes. Images meant to instruct as much as to inspire. His early work likely followed these patterns. Balanced compositions, recognizable figures, clear symbolic meaning. But over time, the structure began to shift, not abruptly, but gradually. The familiar elements remained, yet they began to expand. Details multiplied. Figures became less stable, scenes more crowded, more ambiguous. What had once been clear became layered, and within that layering, something new began to emerge. Bosch was a member of the illustrious Brotherhood of Our Blessed Lady, a respected religious group in his city. This was not a fringe position. It placed him within the social and spiritual centre of his community. He was not an outsider, not a rebel working in isolation. He was integrated, trusted, which makes his work more difficult to categorize. Bosch did not abandon religious themes, he transformed them. His paintings still drew from familiar sources: scripture, morality, the structure of sin and salvation. But the way he expressed them shifted. He filled his work with symbols that resist simple explanation. Creatures part human, part animal. Machines that seem almost alive. Objects behaving in unnatural ways. Scenes that change meaning depending on where the eye settles. There is no single focal point, no clear path through the image. Instead, the viewer moves through fragments, moments, possibilities. His work became a kind of visual language, not fixed, not stable, suggesting meaning, but never allowing it to fully settle. His most famous work, The Garden of Earthly Delights, is not a single image, but a sequence, a triptych. One panel depicts a form of paradise, another a world consumed by indulgence, the final a descent into torment. What is less often noted is how fluid the boundaries are. Joy becomes excess. Pleasure becomes consequence. There is no clear line between them. Bosch's work is often described as dark, and it is, but it is also strange in another way. There is humour, absurdity, figures that appear almost playful until they are not. This tension creates unease. The viewer is never entirely certain how to respond. Laughter and discomfort exist together. Unlike many artists, Bosch left no written explanation of his work, no letters, no treatises, no recorded statements of intent. What remains are the paintings themselves, highly detailed, carefully constructed, but ultimately silent. This absence is significant. It leaves interpretation open. Viewers are left to navigate the images without guidance. Over time, many explanations have been offered. Moral warnings, religious allegories, early expressions of the subconscious. Each attempts to stabilize meaning, but none fully contain it. Bosch's work resists conclusion. It invites interpretation and then moves beyond it. Bosch died in 1516. His work did not fade. It circulated, influenced other artists, most notably Peter Bruegel the Elder, who echoed elements of Bosch's style. But imitation did not fully capture what made Bosch distinct. His images were not just unusual, they were unresolved. Hieronymus Bosch left behind a body of work that resists containment. His paintings are studied, reproduced, debated, but never fully explained. Some artists reflect the world, others interpret it. Bosch did something else. He exposed the uncertainty beneath it, not what is seen, but what might be there, just out of view. Some stories fade, others wait to be heard.